Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Wow, it's been a while since I've done a live. Let's see, I'm bad on connection. That should be good. Okay. So hello. I survived my trip. It was absolutely awesome. For anybody that's been to DC, I don't know how you see everything without being there for like a couple of weeks. Like, it is crazy how much history and just government and really history, I guess, there is to see. I covered a lot of mileage. I'm kind of curious to see how many steps. I need to go back and look at my Fitbit to see how many of those I actually got. So I meant to go live as often as I could, but my service there was so spotty and we were literally hardly ever at our hotel. The only time we went to the hotel was pretty much just to shower and fall asleep. So that being said, let's see. I think Kim asked me, was I able to stay keto? You know, I stayed the best I could. Not having, hi Brittany, hi Paula, not having everything at my fingertips like I do at home made things so much more difficult. Like, my number one complaint of not being able to stay completely keto was I was constantly thirsty. I think I am still majorly, even talking like my lips feel chapped, majorly dehydrated. I feel like that took the biggest toll on me. Was not having the water. And to be honest with you, I was just kind of tired of spending $5 for a bottle of water. As far as food goes, that wasn't hard for me to do. I did pick up people's fries and tater tots. I did have a couple of the chips. But for me, having any type of alcoholic drink or water is just easy. For those that know me really well, I do my smart coffee every morning. And doing my keto cray, I think that's what helped keep me in it. I did not lose it when I tested. I didn't bring my Keto Mojo with me, my blood keto monitor. But I was at 0.6 when I got home, so I don't think it was really horrible. But like, I think on the one I did before where I was showing how I have like alcoholic beverages, I just did that in water. I did learn that if you carry your Mios in your purse, it will explode on an airplane. So the inside of my Coach purse looks like a Smurf. My hands had blue all over them. That was kind of the funny story. But doing those types of things was easy. But it was really kind of the trip for me was really more of, we just saw as much as we could. So I was out walking. So I didn't really have time to not truly get out of keto. Where it killed me is when people were ordering like beignets or things like that for breakfast. That was kind of hard. There was one time I got coffee that I took a powdered stevia, and after I dumped the whole thing in my coffee, I looked and it literally just said maltodextrin, even right on the packet. So I know it was stuff like that really kind of knocked me down. Now, if I was somewhere like Vegas or on an all-inclusive trip, it might be very different. But just the kind of trip I was on, it was kind of easier to stay keto. Things I'm going to do to keep me in, or, to get me back up to where I need to be on my ketone levels. What I've noticed is when I am diligent about my MCT oil and when I'm diligent about using my keto cray in my coffee. I'm going to go ahead and have a chocolate drink tonight and add more keto cray to it. Keto cray is like a powdered form of like a bulletproof coffee. I don't know if it's more potent. I don't know how that works, but I notice a difference in my ketones, whether I use a half a scoop or a whole scoop. I try to have the half a scoop. Is my mom on? Hi, Mom. If I use a half a scoop, I tend to lose ketones to where when because I just try to be frugal about it. When I use a full scoop, my ketones always shoot up like around 1.7, 2.2. So I'll be curious to see where I'm at tomorrow based on today. Keto Cray comes from the same company that my Happy Coffee does. It's just literally like Happy Coffee or the Chocolate are not keto products. They're just keto friendly, but the creamer is just for keto. Like if you're not doing keto, you wouldn't want to use that as creamer. But the keto cray, it's just, I love it. I think somebody had sent me a sample at one point and I tried it with it because I thought, oh, I'm not going to spend the money on it. I can do my own MCT oil. But like this morning I put MCT oil, my keto cray, then a little bit. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Brittany, remind me in a message and I'll send you a sample of it to try, okay? But it is really good. You can make shakes out of it. It's like a vanilla flavor. It actually smells really good, but it makes like a keto hot chocolate super, super creamy, even if you're just adding water. So I love it. It's really, I really do like it. So I'll kind of keep you guys posted. If it's not a live, I will do a post that will tell you how my ketones are doing, or maybe I'll even take a picture of my monitor in the morning. But I didn't take it with me. I was just so packed and I was trying to save room to bring stuff back. And thank goodness one of my friends drove because she's driving some of my stuff back for me. I love Kim's idea. And hi, Kim, I think I see you on. I love Kim's idea of how can we stay keto during the holidays. The holidays don't seem to bother me as much, but I'm going to put a pin in that one because I'd really like to be more prepared than just after work to maybe putting together like a whole thing for us or gathering some ideas because you guys are all so good about it too. And I'm giving us all credit for putting something together for us staying keto and some keto ideas. I know Kim's been doing keto for longer than I have. I started the Monday after Thanksgiving last year, but I found Christmas fairly easy to do. Like Brittany was telling me she had her first, hope you don't mind me sharing, Brittany, she had her first family gathering and she was worried about it. And she's like, it was just so much easier than I thought. And it is if you have an idea and like I said, always plan for what you're going to eat. It's not that unexpected things can't come up or might not look better, but if you plan on what you're going to eat, then you have a better idea what you can stray from, or the fact that maybe everybody's having pumpkin pie, but you've made yourself some sort of pumpkin keto dessert. You know, making sure that you have options for yourself too. I just think it's super important. I always make sure I have fat bombs ready. I always make sure I have a dessert ready. Well, exactly. As long as, you know, that's how I look at it too. If you're not tracking, even if you're not losing, if you're sticking with a keto diet and that's how you want to stay healthy, hi Marina, and to stay healthy, then that's a win. When I don't track, I tend to stay the same a lot. I don't know if it's a stall or if it's just I'm staying the same. But that's what made me realize that this is a sustainable lifestyle. Like I'm going on a year, I will never look back. I'm not saying I'll never have a piece of pizza or I'll never have another ice cream scoop. But it's just, hi Barb, it's just what I do for the most part that I am proud of. You know, everybody can slip up or willfully choose. I always say if you're going to stray, don't make it to where you just break down and finally do it. Allow yourself and give yourself permission. You know what I mean? Because then it's not a failure. It's not like I caved. Hey, I have been doing really well and I decided that was the day I was going to do whatever. If they're far and few in between, you're going to be okay. It's just not something you can do all the time. It's just not something you can do all the time. That's like I tell everybody, if you're in keto and you're hungry, eat. This isn't a starvation diet. It's not a you're at your limit. If you are hungry, you should eat. If you're going to cheat on something, it should be fat. So those are the kind of things I'd like to think about and put some thought into so I can come up with a good plan for us. If anybody has any tips, please post them. Send me a private message. I'll absolutely give you credit for them when I do a live on what we could do for Thanksgiving. I think that's a fantastic idea. And Brittany asked what intermittent fasting is. Brittany, on our keto page, Healthiness is Happiness, I did do a whole video on intermittent fasting, but basically what it is, you don't want to do it until you're fat adapted. And Brittany, based on our conversations, you likely are. But once you're fat adapted, you want to choose a window that you are willing to eat. And then there's a window that you're willing to fast. So most people will say like between 7 or 8 o'clock at night is maybe their last time they're going to eat. So say you choose 7 and then your body is fat adapted, meaning your body is burning its own body fat for energy and not glucose because you're fat adapted, you're producing ketones, you're in a ketogenic state. Then the whole time you're not eating, your body is burning your own body fat for fuel. I mean, think about it. We've turned our bodies into fat burners, and we're using our own body fat, not carbs, not glucose. We're using our own body fat for fuel. That's why you can see so much transformation in people that eat a ketogenic diet, that even if, I'm not going to say just, because to me, 20, 30 pounds, that's a huge weight loss, but it can look so much more drastic because we're burning our own body fat as fuel. So if you are right, so like from 12 to 7, you might choose to eat. That's exactly right, Brittany. That means when you wake up, you could drink coffee, you could drink like bone broth. You can't do any creamers. You could do just a little bit of like sweetener. MCT oil does not break a fast. My Keto Cray, that's part of the reason I bought it, does not break a fast. But you want to be able to eat, or not eat something, but drink something that won't break a fast. You don't want to do that every day. So if you choose to eat between 12 and 7, however you have your macros set up, you can use just a little bit of skinny syrups. You just don't want to overdo it, but most of us don't anyways. But yeah, you can use a little bit of skinny syrup or stevia. But if you eat from 12 to 7, that's when you get to eat, when you log your food in your macros, your 20% carbs or 20 net carbs and so on. So that whole time your body is burning your fat. It just depends. Like I actually go longer, but it's just based on my school schedule. I have kids until 1:45, so I usually don't eat till 2. So my window is a little bit later. I usually eat from 2 to 8. But you only want to do that 3 or 4 times a week. Sorry, I got sidetracked reading the comments. You only want to do that 3 or 4 times a week. The other days, you want to maybe wake up and eat, whatever you would eat for a breakfast, like an avocado. For me, it's usually a hard-boiled egg. Whatever it is you do. I usually do it on the weekends. So do you need to get, yes, you do. You get all your macros in between 12 and 7. But you don't want your body to get used to it because it's just like exercise. If you did the same thing every day, you'd have to switch it up to kind of get your body to keep burning. You really don't want to intermittent fast more than 3 or 4 times a week. I probably do it 4 times a week. I usually, just because of my schedule at work, I do it in the morning. No, that's okay. I do it in the morning, and then I usually breakfast with my hubby on the weekend. So that's kind of how I switch it up. But do it however you want. I wouldn't suggest doing it 7 days a week. Your body will get used to it, and it's just like anything else. You've got to mix it up. So that's intermittent fasting in a nutshell. I don't recommend intermittent fasting until you are fat adapted. Because think about when you first started keto, everybody's like, I'm starving, I want this, I want that, because your body's not fat adapted yet. Once you're fat adapted, you want to wait till you've turned your body into a fat burning machine. And some people it takes longer than others. The only way that you can truly tell is if you do a blood ketone test, like a glucose test for diabetes, but it tests for ketones. Some people, you're not dying. Some people, they say you could tell if you start to get bad breath. You could tell because when you perspire, I always say your pits kind of stink a little bit more. But you can tell for sure when you're in ketosis. The urine strips just aren't as reliable. They're way more cheaper than buying the blood monitor, but you can really tell when you're in ketosis. I've had people say, I cannot believe how I'm not hungry and my appetite has gone way down. Then you've hit it. Your cravings are gone, and all those things kind of fall into place. So before then, it could just be counterproductive because you should never feel hungry on a ketogenic diet. There's two things I've really learned from this journey over the last year. And one is that I was eating out of habit. Waking up and having to eat breakfast and eating lunch and eating dinner, it doesn't mean that's when we're hungry. I think I did that out of habit for so long. And one of the things that you should constantly be asking yourself is, am I really hungry? If you're not really hungry, don't eat. You should eat when you're hungry. It took a long time, especially for like dinner with Dave. And I was trying to figure out, he's used to coming home and eating when he wants to. I think he just walked in. Hi, Dave. He's used to eating dinner and he doesn't eat a ketogenic diet like I do. So it took a lot of tweaking of how we're going to eat. Hey, Barb. Of how we're going to eat. And it makes it difficult, but you should eat only really when you're hungry. If you're not going to get all of your macros in, you should always try to get as close to those fats as you can. It's okay for less protein, okay for less carbs, but get your fats in. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions? I got to be honest, I am so flippin' tired. I had such a great trip, but I am exhausted, and I still feel like I need to drink like a gallon more water. And after teaching all day and talking, and of course my kid's excited to hear where I was, and I was excited to tell everybody where I was, I have talked nonstop. So if I'm too fast, I'm very sorry. Send me a message, post anything, any questions underneath. If anybody wants to try, I think, Brittany, you're trying the chocolate vape tonight. Let me know. I'm happy to send out a free cup of coffee. The Cray doesn't come in its own individual packets, but I can always make my own and send it out. That's no problem. But that does make intermittent fasting. Thanks, Barb. Oh my gosh, Barb, I would love to sit down and have breakfast and tell you all about it because I know how much you like places with history as much as I do. Now I lost my train of thought again. Anyhow, if you have questions, let me know. If you would like to know more about the ketogenic diet, and I have not covered it just in this one video, I saw some new faces tonight. Please feel free to add yourself to my free page, my free keto page. It's called Healthiness is Happiness. We absolutely need to, Barb, especially with the holidays coming up. We could talk Christmas and stuff and decorations. And I'm starting the Sock It To You, your idea from that. And I know nobody else will know what that is, but I'm going to start that this year at my new school. But let me know if you want to join. If you want to join, it's free. I think we are going to try to get together this Saturday morning about swapping recipes or something. I need to talk to Taylor and get more details on that and see with my school what's going on there. Tomorrow's the last day of my first class, and then I start a new class Thursday. So life goes on with all of its craziness. But please, please, please share this on your page. If I don't have it made public, as soon as I log off, I'll make it public. I just truly love sharing anything about a ketogenic diet. Kim, I'm going to count on messaging you with some good, easy, fun tips that you have for surviving Thanksgiving and making Thanksgiving easier in the holidays. And I'll kind of network a little bit with my keto coach as well to see what ideas she has. But I hope everybody has had a great day. I am probably ready for bed at this point, and I will hopefully log on tomorrow and try to answer any more questions everybody has. Have a great night.